quick intro while I have a moment of silence. It's going quickly. My name is Lauren. I own and operate Deep End of the Sandbox, which is an 80s, 90s themed vintage thrift store on Long Island, New York. I am a mother of two. I am hosting my 11-year-old slumber party right now, so the video gets a little noisy at parts and I get a little momish, so I hope that doesn't offend anyone. I like to make videos about the store, about my thrifting, about my unboxing, which is what tonight is. I bought some cool 80s action figures, which is definitely something the store specializes in. We've been open for about 6 years, 5.5 years. So I have a little bit of knowledge about the 80s action figures, and I'm willing to help with anything I can that comes to the top of my head while I'm doing the unboxing. Values are hard to say. They require looking up every single time because they fluctuate a lot. And that's that. These videos are, a work in progress, but a little bit of the inside of what it's like to own an actual brick and mortar vintage shop. I bought these through the store today. I did not find these at a thrift store. This is one of the benefits of paying all that overhead, that people will bring me cool stuff like this. So I hope you enjoy the video, and that's that. Hey YouTube, made a purchase in the store today, hold on, through Lewis. Somebody brought in a bunch of 80s toys, so we are going to go through the boxes together. Let's see what we got. This one I already opened, but I did not look. I already know what's in here basically. I mean, I bought it. So we have a couple of Jedi boxed accessory guns and stuff. These are pretty exciting. And they are all new in here. The boxes are, like, these two are taped closed still. And this one's open. The tape was ripped off, but the stickers are still on there and everything's still on the trees. So this was never taken out or assembled or anything. So that's like new in the box. These are new in the box. So that's pretty cool. I got those. I got excited about seeing those in the pictures. And then in this box is also the Star Wars figures. We have the beginnings of the Max Rebo band. Let's see what we can find. Size Snoodles. Oh, there we go. Let's see if that microphone stands in here. Yes, we got all 3 members of the band. This should go for about $50 for the complete set, maybe $60, but I'll sell this in the store, not on eBay. My Star Wars stuff gets sold in the store until I am desperate for money, then it'll go on eBay, but I like to cut a good deal for my guys in the store that buy it. Let's see what's in the tray of figures. I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of hidden accessories because I don't know how many people are aware that Star Wars figures, their guns and weapons and accessories are worth more than the figures themselves most of the time. Excuse me, I'm drinking beer, so I'm a little burpy. You have the Rancor Keeper. I'm a fan of bald action figures. I collect Bobs from the Batman movie, the one with the Kung Fu action leg that's always broken. To check for double telescoping, but no. Vader, single telescoping. Now this guy, it's got a nice, actually, this is a nice shape, the lightsaber. Usually this little thin tip is broken off, and that's in pretty good shape. If you were to pull on that thinner tip and it comes out again from the main lightsaber, that's a double telescoping, and that is worth a significant amount of money more. But still in really good shape. A little moldy and dusty, but his cape's not split, which is cool. It's usually broken. Oh, coins! Oh, where are all these guys? Oh. Oh. Alright, they're coins. They're not last 17 coins. We have the Imperial Gunner coin, which is cool. Chewbacca. This looks like most of the guys that are here, so this is cool. These came with the Power of the Force figures, and they were very easily lost. They're not worth a huge amount of money on their own, but it is really cool to have them, especially if you have the figures that they go with. is the Gamorrean Guard. I love this guy. He goes with the Rancor Keeper, and we don't have a Rancor. I would notice him in the box. But he's one of my favorite. I like giant toys, so he's one of my favorite Star Wars pieces. We have a Rancor in our game room, and we have a Kraken from the 1970s Clash of the Titans line, and that thing is like huge. The tail is this long. It's so cool, big monsters. I need some Godzillas for that collection. Here's a regular Jawa, just looking at his eyes and his thread. If he had purple thread, crazy money, but he's just a regular little Jawa with a little cloth cape. Vinyl capes more, purple thread more. There's so many nuances to the Star Wars collecting universe. It makes things worth more money. There's plenty I don't even know. I don't think I'd be able to recognize a Letty by sight, but those can sometimes be a decent thing. These are all really dusty. They're from an attic. This goes to him. This little cape hat goes on the Rancor Keeper. Now he's complete. He's the guy that cries when Luke kills the Rancor. This is for G.I. Joe. That's for G.I. Joe. Oh, we have him. Salacious Crumb goes with Jabba the Hutt, who I don't have in here, but that's cool to have him loose because he'll sell loose for somebody to complete their Jabba's throne set. Ooh. I will never know the Ewok names, but I know one of the Ewoks is a last 17 Ewok, so he's worth more money. I don't think it's this guy. I can't remember if it's the guy with the buck teeth. I don't think so, but it's cool to have. People love Ewoks with his cool little medicine man staff. I can't get that to stay in his hand. Looks like there's no other weapons in here. Droid. I don't remember what droid he is. Here is Chewie with his backpack for C-3PO that's in pieces. This is when Chewie saves C-3PO from the torture factory and carries him away in a backpack. There are 3 legs and 2 arms, so we'll leave him in his little tray together, but his arms and legs pop right off. So he's probably maybe $30 complete. I have to check to see what's going on with those at any given moment. Oh, he's a good one. This is the Imperial Gunner. I think he's a last 17, unless I'm completely wrong. I think he's a last 17 guy, and I do have his coin in here. Right here. And I think I'm right about that. I'm sure I'll be corrected if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. So that's good. He's an expensive guy, maybe. I think he's an expensive guy. So that's good. We have Luke. Oh, he's in terrible shape. His face has no paint left. He's the color of an old banana. Boop. I don't know if you can tell that he's just one kind of crappy old banana. So he'll be for a custom. His hand is a little painty mist, but this is Jedi Luke in better condition. With his lightsaber, he'd be a good money guy. I'm not seeing any more toys in here. Weapons. Lando Calrissian. I have a customer that only collects Lando Calrissian, so I hope he's watching. He can go in and get this one after I clean him up. Ben Kenobi, A-Wing pilot. I still don't know whether it's easy to tell if it's A-Wing Luke or just an A-Wing pilot, but that's an A-Wing pilot. One of the skiff guards, Klaatu, Barada, and Nikto. 2 of them are skiff guards. One of them is a boss. And then there's another skiff guard name. But those are references to the day the Earth stood still. And I guess that's the alien names that were trying to take over the Earth. But more importantly to me, that is the chant, the incantation that Ash Williams has to recite in Army of Darkness, and he screws it up. Klaatu Barada. So I'll always remember these guys' names because Klaatu Barada Nikto. I will never screw up the Necronomicon. I am prepared. R2-D2 in horrendous shape, missing everything. But that's a good beginner piece for somebody. This has the scope on his head, which has been chewed. R2-D2, sometimes you'll see with a completely sealed head. Sometimes you'll see a scope that pops out, and sometimes you'll see a lightsaber that pops out. And that's one of the last 17s. And he's a $400 in really good shape, more than $400 R2-D2 with the lightsaber that pops out. That's the one that he and saves Luke on the skiff thing floating over the pit, the Sarlacc pit. I know a lot about Star Wars now. I didn't used to. Turn it into a business. I know a lot about Star Wars now. Probably not as much as most of my customers, but I think I'm doing all right here. So that's Star Wars. Let's pause and open the next box. Box number 2 is Masters of the Universe. I can tell that because right on top we have Bones. And Bones is, I think he has to be taken apart and screwed back together. But he is a portable figure carrying case. And the coolest looking portable figure carrying case I've ever seen in my life because he's a skeleton. He's awesome. And he hangs on a wall really well if you put a rubber band under his neck. He hangs on the wall like he's crawling up the wall. It's awesome. It's a skeleton of a dragon. Who doesn't want that? So there are 2 of those. They're not worth that much, maybe $15 a piece in the store, and they don't really fly off the shelf. I don't get it. I'll keep one. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of messages. Panther. Metal Cat. Panther. It's gotta be. He's purple. With his armor, well, his saddle. He also has a headpiece armor that sits on his head. And he's made out of velvet. He's covered in velvet. So, I mean, these things were played with. So you see where all the velvet is worn away. That's pretty standard. If he was immaculate, like nobody ever played with him, he would be worth a lot more money. But I like to see them in this condition. Somebody played with them. In the 80s, that's what kids did with toys. Knowing names of He-Man vehicles is not my forte, but this is cool because it has the pull string, and this thing, a rip string more like it. And then it'll speed off with your guy on it, which is really cool. This thing has been chewed up by a dog or something. I think I have a better condition one in the store, so I can use the rip cord for that. And then that one will be complete. It has the seatbelt, which is cool. This is usually broken off because it's just like rubber and it deteriorates, and kids are kids, but it's in nice shape otherwise. It's just got a bunch of bite marks on the back there. It's my son's birthday party tonight. He's got a bunch of friends over. So, pardon the noise. Broken bird, whose name I can never remember, Falcor. It's got to be Falcor. The He-Man names are pretty on point. They are always broken. Always. Skunkor. Smells like patchouli. And it never goes away. That cannot be good for you. Whatever they scented this with cannot be non-toxic because the smell never goes away. Moss Man is always cool, and he's fuzzy. He's flocked. Like a fuzzier version of Panther. Not quite velvet, it's like scratchy. Hi baby, I'm making a video. Okay, my kids. Dupe. Skeletor. The kids are really loud. I'm gonna have to talk louder. But I'm not gonna make them be quiet because they're kids having a sleepover party. I should be doing this somewhere else, but I need to keep my ears on them. So Skeletor has his chest armor, which is in really good shape. It's not broken in the back. We'll have to see if he has his sword and his knife. We find his sword is purple, just like his chest armor. It's a good thing with, I'm sure that's his. It's the good thing about Masters of the Universe. Their accessories are always, almost always, matching colors. Otherwise, they are so easy to match. There is so much information and so many sold listings on eBay of these for you to just type in once you figure out the guy's name, Skeletor complete, and then you'll see, boom. If somebody paid $60 for him, it's probably all the right accessories, so you can match them off of that. But a good way, if you're looking in a pile of random 80s action figures and you want to tell what you're looking at, look at the size of a He-Man sword. It's almost cartoonish in its simplicity. It's got a nice, like, sort of rubbery bend to it, and the colors are primary and secondary, bright. It looks like a comic book. They're awesome. If it looks like a real gun and it's tiny and skinny, then it's probably G.I. Joe. If it looks like somewhere in between a real gun and a space gun, it's probably Star Wars. They're tiny. Some of the Star Wars guns are like tiny. Those are really expensive. Tiny. And there are variations on colors of those too that make them more valuable than others. But there's a lot to know about weapons. There's a lot of time to be spent identifying them to get to a point where you can tell what you're looking at and then even name the character it belongs to. I still need to look up. I can identify a Star Wars gun, but I'll still need to look up who it belongs to between like maybe 3 or 4 people that I think it does. And I've been doing this for 7 years, so it clearly takes a lifetime. Lots of mechanic, I think I'm right. And he's got a couple of different accessories that go where this hook is. So we'll see if he's complete. He's not a crazy expensive guy, but it's hard to find him complete. So I think he gets up there when he's like that. Lots of He-Man guys. And hopefully a whole bunch of accessories down here for them. Nobody crazy rare that I'm seeing yet. Skeletor is probably the best one so far. I think I see a He-Man down there. I see a Prince Adam, which is He-Man in his princely form. He's a little sticky. They get sticky sometimes. Look at that they have. Here's He-Man, but he's like the battle damage He-Man. He's got a different name for him, but he's the one that has... Is he the one with the fists? I confuse a lot of these secondary guys a lot. But I know somebody on eBay was looking for Flying Fist He-Man. I think Flying Fist He-Man. Here's the Skeletor that goes with him. See how they are battle damaged? He's got the soft head, which is cool. I'm not seeing a lot of accessories down here for them. There's Beastman. Manny faces. Sorry, not a lot of accessories down there. Some of them. Some accessories. This is... Now, this isn't Skeletor. This looks like a He-Man sword. I'm terrible at confidence. They're both purple. I thought this was like a Thundercat sword, but I think it's a He-Man sword. This is definitely a Masters of the Universe sword. So that makes me think it must be Skeletor's, but don't bother correcting me. I'll already know. One day I'll remember these things. The phone is off the hook! Alright, so that's cool. That's the He-Man pile. That's not bad. Even the incomplete ones are sometimes even easier to sell, especially in my store, because people in my store want their nostalgia sometimes, but they're not necessarily big-time collectors. So the loose, incomplete ones will sell for $5 to $10 because somebody just wants them to have one on their shelf in their office, and they don't necessarily need a complete mint condition one that's worth $60. So while that's kind of a pain and a little bit more difficult to sell on eBay, it's easier to sell in the store. So I approve. Okay, moving on. Pause. Break time. Now's the time where I really don't know anybody's name. Welcome to the Transformers box. I can never look at the camera. Transformers box. So, wow. This is cool because it's in the box brand new. Guys, come on. In the box brand new. Yellowed plastic. Not rare for that to happen. Jump starter and twin twist. Oh, maybe it's not in the box brand new. Because I only see one of them in there. It's okay. Are they both together? Yeah, they're together. So they're... I can take it out because it's been open. still glued to the card on a bubble. Very cool. Not worth a tremendous amount of money, but definitely very cool. I should know this guy's name. I'm gonna be embarrassed that I can't remember his name. This guy's cool, but he has a lot of parts. A lot of parts. I've never had him, well, more parts than I usually have. So anyway, he's got a little car that goes in here. We'll have to look for that. And then, maybe that's it. Am I confusing him with somebody else? No, I think he has a lot of parts. I have to look these up every single time I get them. I don't get them often. Star Wars figures come through on little dribs and drabs all the time when I buy complete collections a lot. But Transformers, especially G1 Transformers, it's only been like maybe a dozen times I've had Transformers and all different ones. So it's not something I've committed to memory. Oh, this one's super good. Another one I don't name, the King guy. He looks like a chess piece. Again, no idea what his weapons are, but I think he's a good one. I think I've sold his gun before for like 20 bucks. So that's cool. This one that looks like Hot Rod, but it's a camper. The kids are so loud. I'm gonna try to wrap this up real quick. The cassette player. That is, oh, hold on. Remarkably embarrassing how I don't know anybody's names. I have a room full of 11-year-old boys right now, so we are going to try to be quiet.
I'll try. I don't know.
I don't think it'll work. The cassette player guy whose name I don't remember, but I thought he had...
Soundwave.
Soundwave, what's the other one? What's the Walkman? No, Shockwave is the gun plane. I know some of them. Anyway, Soundwave is probably right. He has his gun. I know this is his correct gun. But I thought he had a battery pack in the back.
Every time. You almost get halfway.
So, I'll have to test him out. He gets a little cassette in there that pops out and turns into a little easy-to-transform dinosaur guy, so we'll look for him too. I'll get that real quick because I can't keep them quiet, but they shouldn't have to be quiet. It's slumber party time. So the white and red plane jackass.
Oh, yeah.
It's so gross. Shush! It's enough. Jesse asked you to be quiet. The sound, the taser guy. He's missing a part. You can tell. Some parts. One of the dinosaurs. The brontosaurus one.
Garrett!
Okay, seriously.
Garrett, toss me the ball, please. Lucas, look.
Another dinosaur. Guys. I'm keeping this one. Keeping that one. Guys!
That's a something! Garrett, can you give me the ball?
Triclops, maybe? Something like that. I called the other guy Triclops, but here's... Optimus, purple. Is there a purple Optimus? I don't know. And then a couple of little bug guys. And that looks like it's about it. Sorry, I had to get this done. I wanted to unbox it, but I wanted to do it on camera. And I have a house full of 11-year-olds. What are you gonna do? They're loud. All right. Stay tuned if you're a subscriber that is actually a customer at the store. You have this to look forward to. I should have everything priced and set up and ready to go by tomorrow, Friday. And if you're not a subscriber that is part of the store, follow us on Facebook. We will ship anything. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye.